Good morning, YouTube. This is the solar oven that I just got. Took it out of the box, and you have to do a little prep work to it. Take the protective film off the reflectors, which I did, and it said to put 3 cups of vinegar in there and heat it up. And so I guess the vinegar helps clean off any residue. And let's see, I'm terrible with these videos. So when I set this up, it said to line it up with the sun, and to do that, just see that the shadows are even on either side, and that looks pretty even. And then I just propped it up so that there were no shadows inside the oven itself, so the sun's shining directly into it. So it's just before 10 a.m. and it's only been in there about 10 minutes, and it's already up to 250 degrees. So I'm just going to walk off and leave it there while I do the rest of my errands for the day, and then I'll come back and see what happens with the temperature and wash out the inside of the oven. Okay, it's about 2:30 and I got back from the errands, and you can see I didn't turn it to keep tracking the sun, and so there's some shadows in there, and it looks like it's down to about 150, 200 degrees. Yeah. So actually about 175. And you can really smell the vinegar. So what I'm going to do now is just open this up. It's got a handy little piece of rubber down there. Ooh, Steve! Alright, so I'm just going to wipe this out. Alright, this is the next day after the oven's been cleaned out and ready to cook. And I'm going to try and sneak around and get a shot of the front, but be ready, because as soon as I do, this dog's going to start barking. Okay. So there's the meatloaf, and I put that in there just now. It's about 12:30. The doors are latched, and it's about 200 degrees in the oven. So I'll check it again about 1 o'clock, because I'm going to have to turn it a little bit to track the sun, and I'll see how hot it is in about 30 minutes. Alright, so it's about 1 o'clock, and I turned the oven, and I realized that I didn't cover up the meatloaf, so now I'm going to have to put a little cover on. It's not going to be tight, but I guess it'll keep it from steaming up inside so bad. Alright, so there we go. Got a little makeshift lid on there. I took the bottom out of a brownie pan that comes out and just put on top because it's dark. And after 30 minutes, the oven is up to 250 degrees. And like I said, it's about 1 o'clock. Alright, well, it's 4:45, and you can see that the front of this oven is all steamed up, and it never really got much over 275 degrees, which is I think the temperature that it's at now. But I'm going to open this up and take the lid off and see what happens. Okay, so I opened it up, and it looks like it got nice and brown. It's been in there for right around 4 hours, 4.5 hours. And I don't have a meat thermometer out, but I did take a fork to it and check the middle of it. And there's no pink at all, and it's hot inside, and I think it's done. So, looks like it did a pretty good job. It just took a long time, but this is October 23rd, so the sun's not really high in the sky like it would be in the summertime. Alright, this is some dried pinto beans that I let soak overnight, and a ham hock. And as you can see, the ham hock looks kind of white because it's been soaking overnight too. It was salted, salt cured. So I like to get some of that salt out, and it'll still season the beans. And so the beans are just covered with water because they've already soaked up basically what they need. So I'm going to put the lid on this and put it in the oven. And I baked in the oven earlier today, and it got up to 350. I made sweet potatoes, and it didn't take very long. I thought it would take all day, but it didn't. So I'm going to go ahead and start these beans, and we'll see how that turns out. Okay, so the beans are covered and they're in there. And so one thing's for sure, I'm going to have to check the granite ware site and see if they make any smaller roasting pans than that one, because that'll just barely fit in there, and the glass wants to push the lid off a little bit. But other than that, it seems to work fine. And I'll check them later and see how they're doing. Oh, and while I'm at it, I might as well say the sky has not been chemtrailed today, so maybe that's why the oven's getting hotter. I don't know, it only got up to about 250. Yesterday is the hottest it got, between 10 and 2. And so today it's already gotten up to 350. So, okay, here I come to check the beans. Now, what happened yesterday, just almost as soon as I got the beans in there, a big cloud came over and covered up the sun. And the oven didn't get very hot. And so in the evening I had to take them in and put them in the refrigerator. And so I put them back in this morning to finish cooking. And it has been another partly cloudy day. It's like the sun will come out for a few minutes and then it'll go behind a cloud. And the oven is staying right around 200 degrees, 225. So I'm going to open up the door and see what the beans actually look like now. Okay, so that's what they look like, and it looks like the ham hock got cooked, but I'm not too sure about the beans. Let me get in here and see. Alright, that's what they look like after they've been stirred up, and they're not quite done. Okay, good morning. It's January the 21st. We have had, this is the third nice, beautiful, sunny day in a row, and I thought I'll try the solar oven out on some bread this time. So, I've got it set up facing the sun with the shadow evenly behind it. And I've got it tilted up far enough that there's no shadow inside the box. So right now I'm just going to let it heat up while the bread's rising, and I'll come back in a few minutes and we'll see how it progresses. Alright, so I've got some rolls here ready to go in this oven, and I was on the Sun Oven website, and I don't need to cover the bread, but they told me not to let it rise all the way because the temperature in the oven's going to drop and it could cause the rolls to fall if they had already risen all the way, and also to sprinkle the top with some water. So I did that, and we'll just turn around here and get them in the oven. Sweet. I don't know if you can see that, but the oven actually has made it up to almost 350 degrees, so that's about perfect. Alright, now this is the pan of rolls that came out of the oven, so we can compare these to the ones that come out of the solar oven. These are nice and brown. Ooh, and they're tender. So we'll see what the ones look like when they come out of the solar oven. Alright, I'm back out here again, and I think it's been around an hour. I'm not really sure. I quit timing it. The rolls that I made in the house at the 350 degree oven, they only took 25 minutes. So you can tell I can't see inside here very well. And the oven has been staying at about 300 degrees, and it's 40 degrees outside today with a little light breeze. So I'm going to open this up. Woo! And there are the rolls, and they look nice and brown, and they smell good and yeasty. So I'm going to take them out, take them in the house, and butter them up, and open it up, and we'll see what they look like. Okay, so this on the left are the rolls that I got out of the solar oven after about an hour or so. And then these over here on the right are the ones from the conventional oven in the house after 25 minutes at 350. So we're going to open them up and see what they look like. Okay, I am really happy with the way they turned out. Both of them are just nice and tender on the inside and have a really good texture. Let's see if we can. Sorry for the quality of this video, but alright, this one's from the solar oven, and they're nice and tender. They're good. I made them with King Arthur flour with the white wheat, so they're a little different from the normal just white bread rolls that I make, but you can see that's a really good texture. So I'm really happy with the solar oven rolls.